Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Sunday edition, coming to you live from the bunker in the Primetime Radio Studios in an undisclosed location as shorts guys from the highest point of New Jersey and beer barons enjoying the view from the mountainside, and Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal hobnobbing with celebrities in his palatial estates where Michael J. Fox has a flex capacitor back in the 80s in that wonderful apartment of yours. What's up, guys?
Oh, hey, first of all, thanks, Max. Max said we're four handsome gentlemen. I guess it's I
awesome.
said that
Thank
about
you,
Shorts
Max.
Guy. He got a fresh haircut, Shorts Guy. Looks good. Looking
good.
Good.
Fresh because I think you've been away since I've gotten it. So,
dude, I went away for a week and like a lot.
Everything happens.
Like a lot. I turned on my phone. It was like I had 1,000 notifications. I'm not gonna lie. I was able to check everything like midweek when we got to Bermuda. I turned my phone on, and I wasn't allowed to do anything outward. Like I couldn't text outwardly because it was going to cost money. Couldn't call anybody, but I could see everything that was going on, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like Timo signs, Toffoli's traded, like all these great things that happened to the team within a week, and it's just like it feels like it's just begun.
Yeah,
it's been an exciting week. We got a completely different looking team going into next season. You know, a lot of new stuff happening and a lot of signings, and just in general around the league, everyone has been flip flopping all over the place, and many teams are looking different. We're one of them, but there's we say goodbye, unfortunately, to Ryan Graves. Although we will see him quite often as he's landed over there in Pittsburgh. And that creates some questions. But I think bringing in Toffoli was massive. I mean, that is just a stellar move there by Fitzy, completely unexpected. Toffoli already, looking to sign in a more long-term deal, as he's obviously like 31, I think, right now. But he sees the writing on the wall with this team and what's going on.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here. Goaltenders, defensemen, forwards, everything is just, it's all switched up. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of questions to answer as well, especially on the defensive side of things, that we should get into. But probably start out on the forwards, and all the moves. We just talked about Toffoli coming in, but also saying goodbye to Miles Wood, who somehow got himself 6 years out of Colorado. 6 years.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
As I said in our group chat, I that's a bold strategy there, Cotton. We'll see how it works out for them.
Yeah.
Sam thinks it's all for marketing. Sam is just saying that Miles Wood being signed to the Mile High City for
Miles.
6 years
Yeah.
is just a marketing ploy. So that's Sam's take on it. But yeah, good for Miles. Going somewhere that he's going to be long term for the next 6 years. He knows for sure that they want him. Yeah, you know what though? Hey, they showed that they want him, and they were willing to put a contract together that'll keep him there. So, good for Miles Wood. Best of luck to you. You serve New Jersey well.
Good for him. Yeah.
Serve New Jersey well, and we'll see you once or twice a season, maybe in the Cup Finals. Who knows? Because they are. I was looking yesterday. I believe they are the odds-on favorite right now at like plus 700 to win the Cup next year. We're like the third or fourth favorite at plus 1,000 currently, according to my betting apps.
Still good
it's
number
wild.
If you want to put it down. Yeah,
I know. And if you really, really want to take a wild stab at it, I think Arizona was like plus 25,000, plus 30,000, depending on
throw $10 on it, you make a good amount of money.
Seriously. But yeah, so good for Miles Wood. I mean, he's going to be there in Colorado. It's a really good team. He's going to play with a lot of good players, and he'll probably be fighting for that fourth line spot there. But they want him there. We saw flashes of brilliance from Miles Wood, and then we saw a lot of times that he played. We were like, "What are you doing?" So, Colorado fans, that is what you have gotten. You've gotten someone that you'll be really happy with. Yeah, for 6 years, you've got someone that you'll be really happy with, and then other times you'll be like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he takes those offensive zone penalties, boy, they are going to be
in the playoffs. In the playoffs, nonetheless, too.
Oh,
listen, man, I love Miles Wood. Yeah, I loved Miles Wood. I thought after David Clarkson,
rookie year Miles Wood.
Yeah, rookie year Miles Wood was good when he used to fight and actually, it was fun to watch. He was crashing into the boards because he couldn't stop, crashing into goalies. He was just a maniac out there. It was fun to watch. But yeah, you know what? Good for him. We're happy for him. We wish him nothing but the best of luck, unless we meet him in the Stanley Cup Finals, and then in that case, he can go ahead and go straight to hell. But outside of that, losing Ryan Graves, we kind of saw that writing on the wall, and it kind of leads to the question if Fitzgerald is truly done tinkering around with this team. Now, something that's been floated, out in the Twitterverse, when we're allowed to do that, because Twitter's exploding or something like that. I don't know. I get back. I go away for a week. The Devils make massive moves. Twitter's exploding. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. But it seems like Fitzgerald hasn't addressed the media yet. He hasn't had his wrap-up session, which he typically does after free agency. I think he did it the 15th last year, after he signed Palat and Smith and Holla. After he made that little signing, he had his state of the address and blah 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 blah, and kind of made it clear that he was pretty much done with free agency and everything else. There's two things that are happening, in my opinion. Either he's still working on something that doesn't necessarily mean it's a free agent signing, or he's just doesn't really have a ton to talk about. He'll get to it when he gets to it, maybe after development camp is over, or maybe in the middle of development camp, he'll come out and he'll talk about the Meyer signings. He did do a lot of speaking on the first day of the NHL trade, or the NHL draft, because we weren't doing anything in the first round, so they had him a lengthy interview with him. So I don't know, maybe his radio silence isn't a sign, or maybe it is. It's that kind of I wish we had somebody on the inside that could tell us, a little peek behind the screen.
Well, I think there's still obviously some names out there that are working on contracts and everything like that, so he's obviously not done. They have to figure out what's going to go on with Tom Tatar, if they're just going to let him walk, and B, Jesper Boquist as well. Also, he needs to do some filling out of the AHL team, which we've been seeing things pop up on that. But my big question, especially on the forward side, adding to Foley kind of almost, seems to be like a replacement for Thomas Tatar. But we did talk about how Tatar was really kind of a big brother, on that team. And, he played really well with Dawson Mercer and Nico Hischier, and something that, he put up 48 points last year. And when you look at Thomas Tatar's numbers, his highest goal output was 29 goals, years and years ago. So he hit 20, last year. He ended up putting, 28 assists up there for 48 points, which isn't bad. He was also a plus 47. We got a super chat. Woo!
Super chat.
Which
we'll talk about that question in a moment, but go on.
We'll get to who is that? Oh, Nate. Okay. I'm not sure about Bill, but anyway, if he was moving around or anything like that. Anyway, Tatar, 48 points there. He was a plus 41 to lead the team. And then you start looking at a list. We got Halla. Tatar was the 6th highest scoring member of the team. You're thinking that Toffoli would jump in there and replace that. Then you have Hall at 7, but 8, 9, 10, and 11 are all gone. Damon Severson, Igor Sharangovich, Miles Wood, and Ryan Graves were your, 8, 9, 10, 11 point makers on this team. Also with Ryan Graves, he was like a plus 30 something this year, plus 34. And the big thing to me, and we'll get to it about the defensive side of things, that's 152 block shots from Ryan Graves and 115 from Damon Severson. That's going to be big stuff to replace right there. But on the point side of thing, on the forwards, this team is looking deadly. If you get a full year of Timo Meier, obviously he's going to jump up into your top 5, probably points. Toffoli, man, does that add that depth scoring over there? Eric Halla, if he just doesn't have sort of that slow start that he did this past year, you may see him crack that 50-point barrier as well, which would be amazing. His team is going to have those offensive numbers because also when you add a Luke Hughes, when you add a Nemec to the defense, you're going to probably get more points produced over there. And that kind of leaves me
assuming Nemec actually plays. Another super chat.
I think he'll start the season down at the AHL unless he just comes out, balls of fury there in the preseason and just wows everyone. Because obviously we picked up, who was it? The dude from Dallas. Why can't I think of his name now? Defenseman Colin Miller.
Miller.
And
Colin.
That almost seems like another sort of Brendan Smith type of thing. They're here for 1 year. Probably not going to be around very often. I think as soon as Nemec is ready, you're going to see either one of those guys, obviously get bumped to the 7th D-man. We'll see what happens there. But I would think Nemec comes up. But that's going to be a lot of shot blocks. On the offensive side of things, you could see Luke Hughes, taking care of that. Dougie Hamilton had a stud muffin year. Marino, maybe if he doesn't get dinged up and, he misses 16 games, I think, and it took him a little while to get back into a stride. Maybe you get your point production there from Damon Severson. You can kind of cover that. But covering Ryan Graves, man, that's going to be a huge, huge thing for Kevin Ball, who also is not signed yet, is an RFA. Can he really step into that role? We know he's got the physicality, but can he block those shots the way Ryan Graves did? Playing in those big-time PK minutes. That is going to be huge for this team. And that's something they definitely got to figure out. You lose Severson, okay. But now it's official. Like, Graves is gone. And he only got, he didn't even break that 6 million barrier, which I thought he might. Only 4.5. The Devils have about, I think, 5.6 cap space remaining.
We have 5.6, yes. I thought he got more than that. I thought he just got 5, just over 5.
I think it's like 4.5. It's it was like 27 mil for 6 years, I believe.
Yeah, it is 4.5. For some reason, when I saw it yesterday, it sounded like it was 5, over 5. But yeah, 4.5.
And you're like, that's only like $1.5 million more than he was making here on the Devils, and you're like, man, that would have been a good piece to have there, But
maybe he's a big Sidney Crosby fan.
Well, I mean, it's also the years and everything like that, but that's going to be a lot of like defensive hits. How many hits did he have? I got to look that up. He had 83 hits. Okay. So you're thinking Ball could probably, you think Ball can do that because he had 64. Kevin Ball had 64 hits in only 40, how many games? 42 games. So you think the hittage will be okay. But those block shots, that's going to be a huge thing for Kevin Ball to step into that role as that big monster on the D line. That's going to be a big question mark.
He took a big step forward last year, and I think that the the coaching staff obviously has the confidence in him. They showed it in the playoffs. They showed it, towards the tail end of the year. But yeah, you're not kidding. Like, he's going to be stepping into bigger shoes. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that Fitzgerald is done like moving pieces around on this team. So there could be another defenseman that he's trying to go after. There could be another, winger. I know somebody was just saying in the group chat there that he did make a vague reference to wanting to get something on the wing. So who knows? He could be making some other moves behind the scenes right now.
As it's not over. A spot there. It could be a spot there where you think Nolan Foote will probably be ready to come up. Does he play on the third line or does he play on the fourth line? Does Curtis Lazar turn into a kind of a switch him in and out kind of player, or is he like your standard starter? Bastian and McLeod are going to be there. But yeah, that leaves some room. If you're thinking maybe Lazar is your extra, and maybe Nolan Foote takes that extra, that Miles Wood role on the fourth line on the BMW line. Does that create an extra spot? Is someone like a Chase Stillman, an Alexander Holtz, a Tice Thompson, are these guys ready to make that jump? Or does Fitzy, maybe Thomas Tatar has not signed anywhere yet. I haven't really heard any rumors with him either.
No.
Are they negotiating to bring him back maybe on a 1-year deal, possible? I'm not sure. We got to see, but there's stuff out there.
Yeah, you look at what happened today, there's still moves being made. Moves were made all day today. Moves are still being made now. So Tatar is two people that I wanted to see stay with this team were Tatar and Graves. Unfortunately, Graves went to the Penguins. I would like to see Tatar stay as well. He, from everything you mentioned, it just seems to be that he fits in and he does well for this team. And, Fitzy's whatever Fitzgerald's doing right now, I trust him. We'll put it that way, because he's made all these great moves to this point. It's just got to have full faith that he's going to do something right for this team. And yeah, looking at the defensive core, there's a lot of young defensemen there. So we're really kind of banking on a lot of youth on our defensive core for next season, which, we're assuming Luke Hughes is going to be with the big team next year. And with the way that the defensive core looks
there. He's there.
And with the way the defensive core
is a point a game player right now. Come on, he's there.
Yeah. Right.
2 points, 2 games. Come on.
We also might be assuming that they're expecting Nemec to be with the team. Otherwise, why? It's when you look at that rundown of who signed for the defensive core, you look at it, you're like, okay, there's Dougie Hamilton, there's Siegenthaler, and then you start looking down the line. It's like, ooh, we're really young. Kevin Ball hopefully will be there. And then you got Luke Hughes, and then you're assuming Nemec. It's just, there's John Marino, Brendan Smith. Brendan Smith and John Marino, a little bit above Luke and Nemec just by experience. But you get to that from those four that are experienced, you get to almost no experience or very little experience on our defensive core, which is kind of a little bit scary. A little
scary. Especially at the goaltending tandem.
As Sam Wu likes to say, where's that beef going to come from?
I know.
Ryan Graves provided a lot of that beef. And even though he wasn't the, big hulking man, Damon Severson wasn't afraid to get in there and mix it up a little bit here and there as well. Both those guys gone. That's a big chunk taken away out of that defensive core. I'm not going to be hoping that Luke is dropping the gloves all the time,
I don't really expect him to.
Dougie turns it on every now and then. He's a big guy, but he doesn't play, with that physicality. Marino's
the wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Kevin,
but he's riding on his shoulders.
He's going to be a physical force hitting. He's going to be a physical force. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to step in to kind of push people around. I think you might be looking into it too deep, because it's like, all right, yeah, we don't have the guys that are going to go out there and like punch somebody in the face. Don't forget, Timo Meyer's a big dude. And if you don't think he can be physical, look at what he's doing.
He doesn't play defense.
Yeah, understandably so.
He's not
I'm not talking about
PK.
I'm
talking about PK, blocking shots, clearing that crease.
Understood.
Nate
Bastian is a big body guy who's going to be out there too. So I'm not saying like specifically defensively. I'm saying like there are other guys on the team. It's not everybody's 5'11" and like 180 pounds soaking wet. I mean, yeah, they're young, they're fast. There's a lot of guys that the teams like that have like a Kachuk or that have a Domi, which by the way, Domi I believe just signed with Toronto, which is kind of
Did
fun
he really?
to see that he's going to be a 1-year deal.
They
with Toronto.
signed Bertuzzi for.
They signed Bertuzzi too. Yeah, so they're going to have like a pretty nasty team up in Toronto. They're going to have like, and that's
until the playoffs.
That's what it's going to be. Until the playoffs, and then they choke inevitably, and they wilt away. They wilt away as they always do. But there is going to be some toughness. Toffoli's he's not like a pushover either. So there's going to be some guys that are going to be able to bring it. The big question is what Shorts guy brought up is the inexperience on the back end. You bring in Colin Miller, right, from Dallas. It's bringing in a little bit of experience, but like you said, it's the Brandon Smith deal. All these things, and I keep going back to the same thing, that it leads me to believe that the lack of Fitzgerald coming out and having a conversation with the media, the lack of like the wrap up of free agency where he has that like State of the Union address, the fact that there is a lot of inexperience on that back end, I feel like there's another potential move to be had. Now, you have to look at it because there's only $5 million left in the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Who is he going to be moving out? Like, what piece is going to be moving out to make somebody
some space
available to come in? So there's not a lot. There's not a lot to do because your top 6 forwards are pretty much locked in right now. Your bottom 6.
Well, you got to sign Ball.
You didn't just.
You got to sign Ball, and you got to sign Boquist.
Not necessarily. I heard Boquist was given the green light to go test the market. They didn't give him a qualifying offer, so isn't
he an RFA?
Yeah, but if they don't give him a qualifying offer, doesn't it make him available to go and test the market? Listen, man, all that stuff confuses the hell out of me.
Well, either way,
colors and shapes.
Max?
And I see Max and Dave and everything. My point was more the block shots for your defense, for our defense. Where, was Graves going to drop the gloves? No. But he still had 80-some hits, and he was still a big, big body, in front of that crease that was able to take a lot of hits as well. But the 152 block shots, that's what I'm looking at. Shots. That's what I'm looking at. And Beer Baron's right, maybe with, but Bastian got hurt last year. That's the thing. The mindset is like, oh, if Bastian doesn't get hurt, he can have a bigger season with that. Very true. Very true. But he's got to stay healthy.
Foot could step into his role. Nolan Foot, I think Nolan Foot, you brought him up before. I think he's due to make the big squad. But then again, also inexperienced. So.
No, inexperience. But you're looking at, if you look at the Devils' block shots, your 1, 2, 3 is Graves, Siegs, and Damon. 152, 151, 115. Nobody else had triple digits because those are your big penalty kill guys right there. So that's just my whole point is, do I have confidence in Kevin Ball?
Where are you getting the production from? Yeah.
It's like that's it's not like he's done this before at the NHL level. That's a big step for him to take, and seeing that Graves, only got like 4.5, you're like, damn, if we just had like another mill or two on that salary cap or something like that, maybe something might have been able to been worked out a little bit. But either way, wish the gravy train the best. But that's my concern is he was, even though tells bells he couldn't cover what's his name from the Rangers in the playoffs.
Oh God.
Kreider, but he blocked so many shots, 152.
Yeah.
I have to look at his penalty minutes for the year, but he didn't take as many penalties either. Only 28. 28 penalty minutes on the year. Siegenthaler had 44. That's a significant amount of power plays where Siegs is in the box.
And that's a lot of trust.
Graves wasn't.
That's a lot of and there's a lot of trust between your goaltender and your defenseman to block that many shots and to know that your defenseman is going to make the right decision when blocking the right shot or to let a shot through. So that connection is also got to be rebuilt too between Vanacek and Schmid about what are the defensemen going to do, and again the youth and inexperience on the defensive core could lead to some like, I'm going to go block this shot, no wait I'm not, and like a last minute, and then it goes through, to where someone like Graves with 150 plus block shots, if your defenseman's playing in front of you as the goaltender and you know that they're going to block a shot or they're going to attempt to block a shot, you have that. You have that connection with them to know that they are going to be smart about it and not deflect one in and or not to bail out last second so that you're facing a shot that you weren't prepared for, even though you should be prepared for all times. But that's another thing we have to factor in too, is now that the goaltenders have to figure out who they're going to be able to trust and rely on as far as blocking those shots now that Graves is gone and also now that Severson is gone. Sam's favorite defenseman is now gone.
Yeah.
And who will be the martyr?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
You may say, hey, Brendan Smith. You may say Brendan Smith, only 60 games played. He had 76 shots. I hoping Marino might be able to break the triple digits this year if he stays healthy the entire year. Like I said, he missed a number of games as well. But with Brendan Smith, don't forget, Brendan Smith is a penalty machine, taking 63 minutes in only 60 games played. We all know how Brendan Smith likes to take those penalties. So
we trade him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing about Gravy Train is, like I said, like it's low penalties, high block shots.
That's 1.1 mil.
That's
1.1 mil.
I want to give credit to Dubs out there. Dubs is like, I guess that's it. Brought up a great point about Kyle Miller. I could be wrong, but from what I'm reading, Miller is a right-hand defenseman who kills penalties. Not sure about shot blocking. He went to the Cup with Vegas and to the Western Conference Finals with Dallas. He blocked 80 shots last season. So there you go. There's
how many
an
games?
answer to
how many games did he get into? Well,
it's a good question.
80 is a
Dubs, look that up where it's you're our new stat guy. What's the
I gotta look. 152 to 80 is not really, that's a little drop there.
I'm trying to
I think my point is,
I get it. I'm just saying
responsibility for Kevin Ball.
79 games.
I hope 79 games. Jeez.
Season.
Marino had more and he played in a lot less. So I don't. From what I thought Colin Miller was more of like a not as physical type of defenseman, blue line, puck moving type of guy. But I could be mistaken. I could be mistaken there. I just think it's hey, Kevin Ball is here. And this is going to be a really important season for him to step into that role that Ryan Graves had. And I guess that's more my point. Yeah, we need that to happen.
And I think that Fitzgerald's approach to this team is not always like fix it in free agency. It's like not, hey, we need a free agent that's going to come in here and plug this hole and it's going to fix it. He's very crafty with trading. Their player development has been fantastic. I feel like Ball is going to have – it is a make or break season for him. He showed that he can be an everyday NHLer. He showed that he has the potential to be, one of the defensemen they're going to rely on heavily in a lot of different situations, as we've been kind of like laying out. And I feel like he's ready to make that big step, or at least that's what he's shown so far, right? Let's see how a full season treats him. And it's, at the same time, like, at least you have the insurance plan of Colin Miller right behind him. At least you have the insurance plan of like, okay, Brendan Smith, when you need to put him out there, you can put him out there. So you don't put all of the pressure all over Ball through, the first half of the season where he chokes it away. You just have to rely on the fact that the kid has gotten better and better, that, he's going to go out there and prove himself to be a reliable defenseman that is going to be blocking shots, is going to be the tough one that's out there. The big body that's going to be clearing the crease. He's a nasty, nasty dude out there on the ice. And I think it's going to be Kevin Ball. It's going to be a physically imposing person to be out in the ice with. So
I hope so. I really hope so.
Listen, give it benefit of the doubt and just hope that everything kind of pans out. Other than that, I mean, like I said before, listen, there's a lot of things that Riley Wash was a kid that I was hoping would come up, but he got traded away to Boston. Defensively outside of Nemec and Hughes, we also have Seamus Casey. There's a couple other guys. Edwards,
yeah,
yep. So you also have a couple other guys in the pipeline that could be coming up relatively soon as well. Then it also goes back to the inexperience, but whatever. It's going to be it'll be okay. I think Kevin Ball will be all right.
I hope he is, but my whole point is, Ryan Graves a little more established, and Kevin Ball, it's a big jump. It's a big jump for him. He did have his moments, like Lindy was saying, playing in the penthouse with Dougie up there on that first line, and maybe that's what happens. And maybe Siegenthaler and Marino, become a really good second pairing instead of having Siegs up on that top pairing with Dougie. We'll have to see, where it all lands, because they may want to spread out if you got Luke there. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Luke start with Brendan Smith or something like that. And Nemec, eventually come up. But they're not going to have two rookies, I think, really on the on that third pairing. I think they're going to split them up, and give him someone with a little more experience, obviously. But we'll see what happens. But I'm just Ball jumping into that. Those are big skates to fill.
Mm. Yeah, dude. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting how training camp goes. There's possibilities of PTOs. Don't forget about that. So there's always a chance that, between now and the beginning of the season, the roster could look completely different. Shoot, the whole Hellebuck thing, which we haven't even really talked about, still is kind of buzzing in the air. It's like that annoying little gnat that's like just circling around.
Yeah, well, what space? That ain't happening.
Well, here's the thing: is you also look at Sorokin and what his deal was. And of course, Lou, who still is trying to figure out post salary cap era, but 8 years for 8.5 or something like that, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Sorokin got like a huge,
he's 27.
huge deal.
He's 27,
so
he's signed through 35 years old. So, and I was just sorry. I was trying to look if I could find what Nemec had for block shots in AHL last year, but I couldn't find it. Was curious of what he had for block shots down the AHL.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting thing,
I could not find that stat.
Just when you start looking at the numbers of things and everything like that, that's PK1 right there. That's Ball being out there,
and
that's big offensive threats coming at you.
Think about it too. That's 150 plus shots that our goaltenders didn't see this past season. Which is huge. And there were games that we let up a lot of shots.
A lot.
And
40 plus
shots. Raining pucks, as Scotty would say on After
Dark.
Yes.
Raining pucks.
So if we're giving up 150 plus block shots, that's 150 plus shots more on net, which, it averages out to at least a shot and something like a shot and a half, just over almost 2 shots a game.
I want to address something. Max just said that he's been hearing about maybe a Tarasenko signing. And then right after that, Dino5 said Carolina looking at Tarasenko and Erik Karlsson. So here you go. The team that beat us out in the Metro Division is just getting better and stronger. And this is what, we feel like Fitzy's at the point
we can't
where
afford Tarasenko.
We can't. Our window's open. Well, unless you got him on a 1-year cheapo deal, but I doubt he would do that.
I mean, he's got to take a super cheapo deal because, like we said, you definitely still have to sign Kevin Ball. If you're going to let Boquist walk, okay, but you still have to sign Kevin Ball. He's an RFA.
And can you sign Kevin Ball for like a $1.1 million deal for like a 3-year, $3.3 million deal or something like that?
That means Tarasenko is going to take 4, and then we have absolutely no cap space left. I just don't see that without any other moves. Like
you can't function.
I'd rather bring back Tatar. Yeah, I'd rather bring back Tatar instead. To be quite honest with you.
Because Tatar's familiar with the team. Tatar has that connection with the younger players already. He's definitely more valuable as far as already being a piece of this team versus bringing someone like Tank in.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring Domi was something that was interesting me, but now he, because he would be a good bottom
for like
2.5
too.
Yeah,
a year for 2.5. I would have taken on Domi.
Yeah.
I was when
I didn't even
he was
realize he was still out there.
When I heard he was still available this morning, I was thinking like, okay, maybe that's a piece that can come in because that would be a really good piece for the Devils to bring in. But it was not to be.
He could score. He's gritty. I don't know, man. There's times where he looks dominant out there. Like, there's other times where he's just kind of out there. Just a player.
Well, we do have a number of guys, like we said, your Nolan Foots, your Alexander Holtz, your Chase Stillmans, your Tice Thompsons, your Graham Clarks. These are guys that have been in this system for a while that we've been talking about. Prospect. There's an open spot there.
Who's going to shock everybody?
There's going to be some PTOs Stillman as well.
Yeah,
it could be.
Chase Stillman's
good. Could be.
I have a sneaky feeling that dude's going to be like a diamond in a rough. He's not going to be like a 40-goal scorer, but he's going to be like that Pandolfo Madden type of player that's going to come in and fill a role like perfectly and just be like that gritty forward that the Devils actually need to get. I don't know. I feel like if you look at Fitzy's like drafting and everything else, he hasn't really missed on a lot. And it feels like he hits on something. And people look at Dawson Mercer. Like, if you redrafted that whole class, Dawson Mercer would be a top 5 at least. And I feel like, maybe Stillman, he saw something in him that, or their scouting team, not just him, but there's a whole team that's involved. Maybe that there's something in Stillman that is, it could be what this team is looking for. And maybe he starts to make an appearance more quicker than we think.
It could very well be. I think a big thing also is, with the signing of that goaltender for the AHL, I think you're going to see, what's his name? Brennan, probably get the majority of the starts with Nico Dawes being dinged up. But I think that, for me, that kind of just rings the bell that Akira Schmidt is in the NHL to stay.
Oh, 100%. Especially because they just made that, they signed that kid from Toronto.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That other goalie in a two-way deal. So.
Yeah. Well, and Sammy brought up something I completely forgot is that Dawes is going to be out for quite a while, so they need someone down there in
like 6 months or something, right?
Something like that. Yeah. I totally forgot that. So it's
but that other goaltender, why can't I think of his name right now? Is it Brennan?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Brennan. He's got some good potential over there as well. But yeah, Dawes is going to be hurt for a good portion of time there. Yeah. So, you get Brennan up there and give him the ropes. At Utica, and see what he can do. Running out there as a starter like that. Because he's got some potential, much like Nico Dawes and Akira Schmidt as well. He was another Fitzy later round find that seems to be working out really well so far in the minor league system. Don't equate to Grant Marshall in the NHL.
Yeah,
I'm using Grant for another 4-letter curse word instead.
Don't want to Grant Marshall the podcast.
Grant Marshall the podcast.
Hey,
don't grant it up. All right?
Yeah, we're not going off the rails, but I do want to circle back on a super chat question. about Bill Spalding and what you guys feel as he was our play-by-play announcer last year with Ken Danico, and I thought he was a great fill-in for Kanji. Thought he did an awesome job. I don't know why it was brought up. I don't know if there's rumors that he's not coming back. Hopefully he's coming back. I thought he did a great job.
Was he on a two-way deal there?
I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah,
is
he on a two-way deal and it's going back. You're going back to the farm team, Bill.
Yeah, I hope he comes back. I thought he did a great job.
I hope so too.
Yeah, same. Although, I still have to wait for my cable company to get over themselves and resolve this issue. Otherwise, I'll be watching games on my phone again, so it doesn't matter. Dude, it's so annoying. Actually, no, I bought an Xbox so I could watch it on my TV that way. But, yeah, I don't know. I like Bill Spalding. I think he's awesome. I think he's hopefully he's going to be coming back. He'll be here with us for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. Yeah.
I
didn't know that. I wasn't aware if it was like just a 1 year type of contract he has, like a tryout sort of basis or whatever. But I thought he was our man locked in. So I hope
so too.
That's the case.
I hope he's coming back.
because I thought he did a great job. Yeah.
And then shifting gears back into our conversation about like what was going on with the team and everything else like that. If there was a name or a guy or a defenseman forward, doesn't matter. Let's say we have the space to do it. Is there anybody that's on the market right now that you wish that the Devils could get? Because right now the forwards are getting a little thin. Patrick Kane, who's going to be out for a while. Jonathan Taves, who I'm surprised hasn't re-signed with Chicago. It's a bunch of old guys, really. Like there's not a lot of. It's a very thin pool.
Who are younger than us.
It feels like, we're still young. Yeah, we're still younger than us, which is sad. Bunch of old bastards out there. The AARP group.
I'm looking at the list now. Tatar's on there. Hopefully we get...
I know a lot of us were talking about Bertuzzi. Like, Bertuzzi would have been nice, but he's starting getting a little expensive. Especially
I
like
think
5.5.
Tatar might be the one.
Tatar might be Tatar.
If you're not confident in the those young kids taking that open spot, then Tatar should be your man.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got such
Zach
great rapport with the
Parise.
team.
Paul says Zach Parise.
No,
you don't want to have an encore tour.
No.
Let Zach play in the bottom fourth line.
No.
Yeah,
give him number 9 because nobody has it.
No. I got an idea.
Yeah,
Let's
I think
bring
that
in.
ship has sailed there.
Yeah, we can bring in Iron Man Phil Kessel. He's available.
Is he? Dude, I would love that hot dog eating son of a bitch. Hell yeah! Bring him here. Let him win another cup, and then shove it right up Pittsburgh's nose.
Wow. Nolan Patrick is a UFA.
You know what? Bring him in.
Jeez,
no.
We drafted the right guy. We drafted
the right guy.
Holy crap. The former number 2 is a free agent. No one wants him.
Nobody wants him.
He's injury prone.
I know.
Adam
well,
Henrique
we knew that
trade. Salary retained. That's an OMI. That's a good one, actually. I wouldn't mind bringing back.
I thought about that because he's on the block. Apparently, it really wouldn't be too bad.
What's his contract like, though?
I'll tell you in a second. Hold on.
I can look up. I'm on. Oh, right there. Anaheim Ducks. They're the first one. Let's see what his contract is. Henrique.
Bobby Finham. Get me Bobby freaking Finham.
He's at 5'8".
They would have to retain
Henrique.
They would have to retain
some stuff. Yeah.
Well, they got their projected cap space is $28.7 million, almost $29 million. So they got space to retain.
They can retain all of it.
4 of the 5.
How about you retain? What is it? 5.8? How about you retain 5 of that?
5 of the 5.8, and we'll send you a pick to be named later.
Yeah.
One thing we do. Go ahead.
Before we move on, looking at the free agent list, odd story. I just saw Jonathan Bernier's on that list. So I've been looking for one of the last pieces of gear that I've been reluctant to replace that I've had since 2001 are my goalie pants, and a pair of Jonathan Bernier goalie pants came up on a site that I frequent that sells pro stock gear. So I picked them up because they were cheap because they have a slice in one of the legs, but I got a pair of the Jonathan Bernier reverse retro red pants with the yellow and blue trim. It's a brand new pair of goalie pants.
How the hell? Wait, time out. He got the reverse retro, which the dude never wore, and there's a slice in it. What was he doing? Juggling razors?
I have no idea.
Somebody tossed me my skate and it hit his pants.
It's got Bernier stitched in the inside of it. I tried them on; they feel a little bit big, so I'm hoping that somehow they fit with my gear on. But hey, I wanted to stick with a red pair of pants, and I found the reverse retros.
Just wear the oversized cup; you'll be fine.
Yes, I think I'll have to do that.
I'm looking at some of these names here. Brendan Lemieux. Can we throw Claude a bone for getting Timo signed?
I saw that.
Brendan Lemieux is a scrappy dude.
Dumba is still there.
He bit somebody.
Dumba's there. Yeah.
Because he probably wants an arm and a leg.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Hey,
he probably
Andreas, don't call me Andre Janssen is out there.
Wouldn't Sam be thrilled? Wouldn't Sam be thrilled?
There's Max Domi, but yeah, he's up in Toronto now, so that one's done. Everyone's old favorite, John Moore. Man, everyone
said we don't need any more
defensemen. Yeah, I don't know. Like Tatar seems to be the guy that's jumping out at me.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on that list.
They could reuse that weird tuna animation they made for him.
Oh God, that was annoying as anything.
It was annoying.
Although
some of them are pretty good. I was like, wow, they actually look more like the player than they do in like NHL 23, which is like a shame. Nico Hischier looks like a baby in that game. It's weird.
Still, nothing beats what the Devils did this year with Chico and the Take on Me video ripoff. That was the best thing they did all year.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. Tatar.
How do you say this guy's name? Naga not play for us anymore.
Phil Kessel. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the other names that are out there. It's kind of, it's getting bare bones now.
It is. Do you swoop in and steal Patrice Bergeron from Boston for a year?
Come on, Bergie. I know you just had a crying fit when you were retiring, leaving the team.
Yeah, it really looks like Tatar is like, if I was going to pick someone to go after, no to Kane, no to Taze, no to Tarasenko.
Yeah.
To Brinkat, but whatever the heck is going on with him.
He's an RFA. He's 6'5". 6'4", excuse me, 6'4".
Yeah, you would have to swing some deal with Ottawa there. So, but
yeah, and they would have to retain some. They would have to retain.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot about Lazar. We always forget about Lazar. He's a tough son of a bitch too.
He is, and he's signed.
I think he'll be like an extra. He'll be like your extra forward there, probably.
Sure. I just hope someone throws a burger on the ice this year and he eats it. I want to see.
Well, if we play Toronto and they disallow like 4 goals again, I'm sure it will happen.
There you go.
We do have to say a big thank you to, I think it was Mason Gearston's grandmother, who was a huge fan of this show. Gearston, I believe, signed. Did he sign with the Knights? I think the Knights picked him up on an AHL contract.
Really?
So, yeah, Grandma Gearston. We thank you for being a fan of the podcast. And we'll miss Big Mace there, reckon smashing some heads down there with the Comets. So thank you for all the love and support for the past couple of years. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was really hoping you'd make it back on. Oh, Ty Smith.
Right? Sam Wu was his grandmother, right? That was the big fan?
Yes,
Sam Wu's got a...
Yes.
I think it was, right? Yeah.
Sam Wu remembers all this stuff.
I wish we had a moment where she would call in and she'd have like a grinds my gears moment. You know what I mean? Like, you know what really grinds my gears?
He wasn't
My
resigned.
gears and
Do not make me tell my grandson about this, or he will punch you.
he
in
will
the face.
punch you from here to eternity. He's a puncher.
Thank you, Sam. Yes,
He's a sweet
Sam.
boy.
Sam Wu has confirmed it was his sweet grandma. That was a big fan.
Stephen Engel said.
Now we got Uncle Paulie, Paul Marino.
Fried food.
Oh wait,
Wrist
I snuck
deep.
these cookies out of the sweets here for you fellas. Yeah, eat up.
Hey, look
In
what I
his
got!
pocket.
Look what I got for you. Like
They fell off
all
a truck.
crumpled in a napkin.
They fell off a truck.
Oh, hey.
Hey, and you guys got a black and mild for me? Let's go talk some business.
Oh my goodness, I think you're onto something there, but also Nolan Foote as well for that fourth line. Depending on how Nolan plays. He might be on the fourth line, he might be on the third line.
I love when people are automatically thinking that Alexander Holtz is finally going to make that turn. He better, dude.
I hope he
nice.
does.
The kid's got.
It would be nice.
He's like oozing. He's oozing of talent, and it's like, what else do you need, dude? What else do you need? Like, do you need to go out there and like play top? Like, you could do it in the AHL. What the hell's your
Bring in
problem?
Loris
You show up
Stam.
in the NHL and like, are you overwhelmed? Like, get over it.
I think someone had wrote it in the chat here on the old YouTube live about Holtz might be a nice fit with like Palat and Haula on the third line, where he doesn't have as much pressure on him, and he's got these two real crafty and wily veterans to play along with there.
He could
that
learn
could
a
be
lot from
something.
them.
He could learn a lot.
And
Yeah,
they're also
that might
not
be perfect.
fast. They're also not as fast as like Jack and Jesper and even Nico to an extent. Like that was one thing that I thought he just couldn't keep up with the speed of like the top line. And then you couldn't put him on that top line. Then you couldn't put him on the bottom, in that bottom pairing, because then he's not getting the minutes that he needs. Putting him on a line with, those older veterans is a smart move, because then the slower pace of play, setting him up more for like, his one-time shot, like getting him an opportunity to actually, be out there and do what he needs to do. So Nylander may be in the move, according to Shane Van Sickle.
Calgary's at the rock bottom. Rock bottom! Rock bottom! My God!
My God! He's broken in half! I watched the other day because it's the anniversary. It was the anniversary of Undertaker and Mankind Hell in a Cell not too long ago, and I was watching that.
25 years or something like that, or 30 years?
25, something like that. 20, something like that. Good God,
we're
getting old. Old as H. Old as Grant.
Yeah.
And when he throws him off the top of the cage, my God, he broke him in half.
It's Bogard. B-A-H.
Yeah,
J-A-W-D. Bogard.
Yeah.
We got some people in here saying, Foote is ready. He looked good.
Foote
in his time.
ready. I can't wait to see the weird animation they have for Nolan Foote.
They should do like some Ninja Turtles like Foot Slam thing, like
they're not that cool. I saw it recently where somebody was like, I think his brother was available, or somebody was like, "Can you trade for Nolan Foote's brother?" I think Owen is his name, Owen Foote, or whatever his name is. I just want to have the Feet brothers.
The Feet brothers.
It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh man,
I laughed so hard. For like
I've got it.
At the Feet brothers.
I've got it.
They both play left wing. They'd be two left foot.
Oh, these guys can't get out of their own way. They're two left feet out there.
Oh,
they could have like a great endorsement deal with like Nike or something like that.
right foot.
Selecta, we will sign Kevin Ball, by the way. Selecta, hopefully.
Yes, we will.
There's no hope. We are signing
Yeah, we
Kevin
will.
Ball.
It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when. We'd be stupid not to.
Rewind and listen to the first 20 minutes of this podcast. There's no way that Fitzy is not re-signing Kevin Ball now that Gravy Train is gone.
We have to.
Are there two balls?
Yeah, Kevin Ball and Michael Ball. Now you got a set. You got the feets and the balls. Just don't let them meet each other in the middle of the ice. It'll be very painful.
Oh, man.
And the balls. Yeah, that's got to be a fun. They got to have great T-shirts for the Ball family reunion, right?
Hey, if they need someone to print them, I got them.
That's right. That's right.
Balls out.
We got
the Ball family reunion.
The two huge
Does it say
with
like
the big balls?
Let's get nuts at the Ball family reunion? He's gonna punch me right in the face one day, I hope.
I think Sam Wu needs to have Kevin Ball on his Morning Woo program.
I think so.
Wake up with Morning Woo and Kevin Ball.
And here come the balls pouring over the bench. Somebody left the balls out to dry on that play. I don't know what happened. As an announcer, the comedy writes itself, really.
Oh my gosh, it really does. It
really tough
does.
to play against those Ball brothers.
Those balls are shining out on the ice today.
Really tough to play against those Ball brothers. Some might say they're a real pain in the balls out there.
What you don't want to see is the ball shrivel up in the corner. You know, you want to see them stay big in the corner over there.
Look at the size of those balls, brothers.
All right, we could get pretty. Sam was
Yeah.
checking in here. He's like, all right, you guys are getting pretty.
Dad's here.
Pretty close
Dad's here.
to Grant marshalling the podcast over here.
Yeah,
I thought of a couple
seriously.
other ones that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say that right now. I'll tell you guys after we.
Balls in deep. I gotta read this one. Balls in deep. The zone, I mean.
I got one that's just like I just want to but I'm not gonna.
Just say it. Just say it.
No. I'll wait.
We're gonna have to have the XL tag on this podcast, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, they can get numbnuts on the ice. Oh man.
You know,
Zach across the line and he's got wood. Yeah, that won't. That was a good. Yeah.
Oh
man. Do you think Ball and Wood were like good friends?
Remember Oduya?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Onoya. What is this? Who's got the biggest balls? Well, that's right. We definitely need to. They need to license that.
Do they
AC/DC
play that?
song
Do they play that for him if like he does
They
something
better.
on the ice?
They
They play that song.
They
I've
really
got
need to.
big balls. You got big. See that if they don't play that, that's a crime. And if somebody's like, you can't do that, be like, yeah, you can. Numbnuts.
Any Five for Fighting, Big Balls song better come on. I think that's
so much
something we'll
fun.
also see from Kevin Ball this year. Is a little bit more droppage of the gloves. Yeah.
Well,
He's gonna have to.
No, not necessarily. And the reason why I say not necessarily is because those games that there's gonna have to be a fight. That's when you put Curtis Lazar in, and that's when you have him do his thing. The reason why is because you need Kevin Ball, as Scotty mentioned way before, as we circle all the way back to the beginning of the podcast, you're going to need him out there to block shots and to be a physical presence. So if he's fighting and he's in a box for 5 minutes, you're going to be taking those stats away.
Sometimes things happen.
You can't take the balls off the ice.
Sometimes you got to do it, though. Sometimes you got to drop them just to defend somebody. And we've got some small forwards that are going to need defending. So sometimes you got to drop the balls.
And if he gets, and then I was waiting for you. And if he gets into a fight and he loses, somebody dropped his balls. It's like a test of your manhood.
Don't trade him to the Rangers.
I'm just waiting because now once again the joke I wanted to make it's perfect timing for it, but I'm going to refrain from it.
All right.
Well, this went downhill quick.
Not downhill.
Final thoughts?
All right, I'll go. My final thought is this: that the offseason has been electric so far. Tom Fitzgerald is showing that he shouldn't have been fourth in the voting for GM of the year last year.
Talk about fighting.
Yeah, talking about fighting. Just bouncing off repeatedly in the corner. I thought of like 4 really terrible jokes that we could have said. Anyways,
right.
Tom Fitzgerald,
right off the chin.
Right off the chin. If Tom Fitzgerald continues doing
no, Dino, please tell me no.
No.
Dino, please tell me that's a. Oh no. No.
What?
Hang on,
I missed
you got to
it.
confirm that.
What?
No. Please.
He went under major heart surgery 2 days ago.
Oh, Bob Uke, no.
No. Really?
That's horrible. I'm going to look at it.
I don't see it anywhere. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, no.
He said, oh, wait, my bad. Dino 5. Oh.
Wait.
Select the boy.
Is that really true?
I don't think it is. He had heart surgery 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Okay. I'm seeing nothing unless it's like...
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, come on.
Oh.
Bob Ueker's not dead. Just a bit outside.
Yeah. Come on.
One hit, that's all we got. One goddamn hit.
You can't say goddamn in there. That doesn't matter. No one's listening anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Greatest movie, greatest announcer.
Yes.
Bob Uecker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about that. So Bob Uecker still lives.
Super chat Euros.
What's going on? The Devils. Bocce Galoop. No, Dino put that Uecker had passed, and I was like, no. Please tell me no.
Yeah, that
Bob Uecker is one of those American legends, one of those few just true American legends that we have left.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like Sam was saying, I had heard that he was having some heart surgery and stuff like that. So
he was also Mr. Belvedere.
Very nice. Nicely done there. He was a correspondent at a couple WrestleManias. He did. Bob the Uke is the man.
Bob, he's
Miller Lite spokesman.
Every time he sneezes, he looks like a party favor.
Oh man,
that was a
scam. Devils fan.
So
yes, I think as I texted the boys here in our group chat, I think that signing says Akira Schmid is your other guy at the NHL level.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes, I think you have a good tandem of like 1A, 1B. And I think they both kind of get it. And it's just
more
like
of a true platoon, and maybe Vanacek won't be as spent at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's I think what we need is we need them to play a pretty good, solid split of games because both can win.
Steven Angle.
So
he walked the bases loaded on 16 straight pitches. I can't talk right now. That's great.
Oh man.
Anyways, back to my final thought. Tom Fitzgerald, if he continues doing what he's doing, you could be looking at him as being a potential GM of the year candidate for next year. As long as his team, produces and does exactly what they need to do, because on paper they look pretty goddamn dangerous. Just got to put it together and make it work, and Fitzy will get that well-deserved GM of the year. Anyways, Bob Uecker's still alive.
My final thought is I'll keep it a little bit different. Yay, big balls. But also just happy birthday, America. As our history teacher, Short Scott will tell you, there's quite some stories to tell about the old history of America. And since we are on a hockey podcast here, got to say happy Canada Day as well. That's today.
That's right. Yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday? I thought it was... Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. So happy Canada Day to all of our friends up there in the snowy north, and happy 4th of July to everyone down here in the States. Remember, please throw the explosives away from you. Don't hold them in your hand. That's bad news right there. If you want to be able to grip the hockey stick the proper way, you need all your fingers. So please, when you are lighting off some of those explosives, just make sure you're throwing it away from you.
Yes.
Away from you. Yeah. Be safe and have fun.
Absolutely. All right. Same thing. Happy 4th of July. Everyone enjoy it. Be safe with the fireworks, but go balls out with the fireworks.
Yeah. For Kevin.
Sam Woo's
do it for Kevin.
Sam Woo's going to have his sparklers.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Fireworks are part of Sam's heritage.
We invented it.
You did.
It's your people that put it in a... I don't know.
Made it cooler. Made it way cooler. That's what you're trying to say. Made it way more awesome.
Shooting each other with it. Anyway. Final thoughts? I don't know.
Weren't you the guy when I sent the video of like the Year of the Dragon thing from Anaheim? You're like, what the hell's that? I don't even know what's going on. Shorts guy had to be like,
I was joking.
Oh, that was a joke.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In hindsight, yes, it was a joke.
Yeah. Trying to find the button here. Oh, here it is.
You're always looking for the button.
Yeah.
You should paint the button like big and red.
Like a big ball.
Yeah, maybe label it. That might be an idea. Maybe we'll label it one of these days.
The button.
Seriously.
All right.
We're only on season 6, episode 34 here. You think you would have thought of labeling the button at some point?
I could cricket something for you. Make it look fancy.
Ooh.
Well, I want to thank all those tuning in. We'll be still on breaking news standby in case something happens with Tom Fitzgerald as he's going around the league fleecing other teams and other players as well. We'll see you later. Till next time, let's go Devils.